Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're having an awesome day. I'm having an awesome day. I'm with Chris from Financial Fitness. He's coming into the screen. Yeah, he's distracted. There's a lot of things going on in the city, and there's definitely the hustle and bustle of the city.
It's crazy.
Yeah, where are we right now? Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
And we found out that there's actually a lot of Miamis in the country. If you have a second, Google them and then put them in the comments below, because we were actually surprised when we were trying to find a restaurant the other day, how many Miamis are in this country.
Yeah, it's like 5.
It's like stupid.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, so we want to talk about the hustle and bustle, and it sounds funny, but we've been covering this collapse that started in 2019, slowly is getting worse and worse. It's getting bigger and bigger until that bubble pops, right? And everybody wants to know when the bubble pops, but truly nobody knows. Like, we have an idea, but we don't know, right, Chris?
Right, well, you just have clues like 2/5 of all spending is stimulus. That's a clue.
That's huge, and it's gonna get worse and worse until the bubble pops. So this reminds me of what we went through in 2007, 2006, when all of a sudden the mortgage-backed securities imploded. Ben Bernanke was having to come out and talk about it, putting people's worries at ease, saying it's okay, there can't be a financial crisis when it comes to mortgages because real estate won't collapse, all at the same time throughout the country. But how did that work out, Chris?
Not good.
Not good at all.
Nope. It was very bad.
So what's funny is we have people walking up and down the streets doing their daily routines, but they have zero clue that we're now printing essentially $1 trillion a month to try and it's not get us out of a collapse, literally kicking the can down the road.
Yeah, everything's normal. Everything's life as usual. There's yachts going up and down the river. It's just, when this thing happens, it's going to be a shock to the general population.
Absolutely. These nice cars that are driving by, we're watching amazing high-end cars driving by, like this Miata that you're probably going to see in the shot in a few minutes. And do me a favor, and if you see what color it is, put it in the comments below. Super high-end Miata. But I seriously am digressing. The point is that most of these nice high-end cars, these people can't even afford. They're paying payments, and they're living their normal lives, driving. Oh my gosh, we can hear it. We just hear it. Put it in the comments below, guys. My point being is that these people continually want to impress other people, and they have no clue that the world is literally imploding economically around their lives.
Yeah, when we go to events like this, and like your event,
yeah,
in Dallas, like Mark Moss's event, other ones, you can run into people and they'll be dressed in normal clothes, but you could be talking to a billionaire.
Exactly. And the difference is with my event is we're going to actually give them real things to do. So yeah, we're going to tell them, yeah, there's a problem, but we don't want to care about the problem. We're going to tell you how to just crush it, to destroy the problem. So it just does blow me away that people have no clue. We just walked by, and I've told my story about the gold watch. I think I've told my story about owning a gold watch and how it's just this little cheap Seiko watch, but it's real gold. And we walked by, it's like Saks Fifth Avenue down here, a watch store that has very few solid gold watches. They have stainless steel watches though that cost 10 times more than my solid gold watch.
What is that? Why is that?
It's because people care about marketing. Because marketing is for the weak in heart, the weak in mind, actually. Actually, not the weak in heart, the weak in mind. And that's what's sad. Marketing really does affect the masses. And so, yeah, you got a picture of, John Travolta showing his watch and he's flying his jet, and all of a sudden you're like, I need one of those. I want to be like, I can dance like Disco Fever and have a watch.
Break it down.
Oh, no, not right now. Like, I didn't think you were going to go there. My point being, guys,
that's later,
is that there's so many people in Ninja Nation that have been frustrated because they've been warning, they've been talking about collapse. They know it's coming, but it's like, every time they warn people, it seems like they get the same answer. When you warn someone, say, hey, we're crashing right now, right? What's one of the normal responses you get?
That's what you said last year.
Exactly. Well, it hasn't crashed yet, so I haven't seen it. And they have no clue that collapses happen, like this one happened in 2019, September. Go Google it, when the interbank lending rate spiked to 10.5%. That's actually really tragic, to be honest with you. It's worse than 9/11 and 2008 when the Lehman Brothers crisis happened. It's both of those. It actually spiked higher. But people don't understand that it takes years and years for the sheep to figure it out, and then they go running to the banks to pull out their money, and then a collapse happens.
This whole thing, we've been out to eat to some really nice restaurants.
Yep.
We've seen yacht after yacht after yacht. It is the roaring 2020s.
Yep. Absolutely.
It has started. The wealth effect is hitting everybody. They think they're wealthy and they'll never have to work again. And that's going to change. It's going to change really fast, I think.
Yeah, and then what's funny is we talk about the roaring 2020s a lot, but very few people understand that the roaring 2020s came from a depression in 1920. And that depression came from well, it was in 1918, and there were a lot of people with thermometers in their mouths. Weird.
Yeah.
People have no clue. But the problem is, a lot of people would say, well, Ninja, Chris, the roaring 20s was a decade until the collapse happened. The problem is as more money gets into the system and floods into a system, those cycles get tighter and tighter and tighter, and the spikes get higher, the drops get longer, and they compress. And I think right now we're on life support.
Yeah, no doubt. We've been on life support since 2008.
Yeah. So to give you guys at the end of this video, because if you made it this far looking at our two crazy mugs, then you deserve some solutions. What are some solutions? Well, what collapses in an economic collapse? Whatever fiat currency, anything that's denominated in that fiat currency when it collapses. It could be Venezuelan, it could be Brazil, it could be Libya, it could be any of these countries that have went through hyperinflations in the last 20, 30 years. And everything collapses in that currency. So what would be some things you want to do? Maybe diversify outside of dollars, possibly things like, and this isn't financial advice, look at us, we're just two dudes we couldn't even get into the watch store actually. So we're like not financial advisors. We're definitely not watch enthusiasts or watch advisors. Don't listen to us. I mean, like, why are you even here? Actually, like, ooh, just like that, go. Like, seriously, why are we, I'm not a financial advisor. Chris isn't a financial advisor. We're not financial advisors. I have amazing hair. He has an amazing shiny head.
I do.
He does. Woo! Bald is beautiful, baby. My point being is, maybe you want to get out of the dollar. Maybe you want to diversify, like all those crazy people that make money in Bitcoin. I don't know, it just keeps going up and up and up until it doesn't, and we'll talk about that later. But maybe gold and silver. Gold and silver over time, not in your window, in your mind's window, but over time is a store of wealth. When inflation kicks in, it's usually one of the last ones to move, but when it moves, boom, she moves big.
Now, what happens when the lights go out to crypto?
Yeah, we get that a lot. When the lights go out, they're eventually going to go on. I hear that all the time.
But just the first initial thing, the knee-jerk reaction when...
Oh, sell?
Okay, well, the same thing happened when I just got through talking about this with, can't remember his name.
I don't either.
Anyway, it was about, it follows the stock market. Bitcoin follows the stock market. I don't care what anybody says.
It absolutely does.
The stock market crashes, Bitcoin crashes.
Yep, and as the cryptocurrency evolve, it will follow the stock market more and more because the amount of money diving into it, the amount of leverage that's involved, okay?
Greg Foss, that was his name.
Greg Foss?
I just interviewed Greg Foss and we had this conversation.
Yeah, so the more leverage that's involved, the more it's going to follow normal markets because they need to deleverage sometime when there is a liquidity event. And so that's the truth. When crypto falls, when stock markets fall.
Yeah, so let's say that happens, along with whatever black swan that made it happen. What's going to happen to gold and silver? Maybe, historically.
So historically, if we look back on 2008, gold and silver were the first to bottom for four equities. Gold and silver bottomed in November of 2008. Equities bottomed, I want to say, in late spring of 2009. So the gold and silver bull run exploded past. I mean, we were talking silver ran up, 300+% in the same amount of time that stocks might have barely regained 5 or 10% of their loss. So that was pretty exciting. So I'm gonna be honest with you, that's what I'm gonna be doing.
So is that paper? Physical?
Paper.
When
paper recovered.
$3,500.
Yeah, paper
gold
collapsed.
Went up, right? The physical gold.
Physical gold and silver went up. Paper got smashed, but even paper found its bottom before stocks. That was impressive.
That was impressive.
It really is, because you can't deny it, because the amount of money that went into paper, even though paper markets are completely fake to me. It's not real unless it's tangible in your hand or stored in a secured vault.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at is if equities, and when fear comes in, everybody usually runs to the dollar, right?
Yep.
And then
that'll happen again.
And that eventually makes it to gold and silver if it's really bad.
It only makes it to gold and silver after the initial run to fiat currency, like the US dollar, because the printing starts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and the printing's gonna start, pretty quick after a
And
collapse.
it's exponential. You know, 90% of the moves last 10% of the time.
Absolutely.
So, and that's the same way in Germany. It was real slow at first, and it wasn't a big deal. And they did a little more, and it wasn't a big deal until it really was.
Yeah, but it's like Ernest Hemingway says, I went broke slowly, 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 and then all of a sudden at once.
Right.
Yeah.
So, is there a time where we'll be able to trade our gold and silver for crypto? When
Yes.
silver and gold and silver's way up and crypto's in the gutter?
Yes, but we're not going to talk about that just yet. We're going to wait until that moment.
Well, I mean,
We're already sort of
just
getting
kinda
people ready.
preparing
Yeah, we're
mentally,
getting pretty. Yeah, we'll move through cycles. We go crypto, then we go into metals. We're going to do it again. It's going to be exciting.
right?
And we're not going to hit the top, and we're not going to hit the bottom. I'm not going to lie to you. We're not that smart.
No.
But we want to be, if we could be half as smart, then we're better than the rest of the world.
Yeah, well, if you've got precious metals, you're like half of 1%.
Yes, you are part of the elite if you have precious metals.
Okay.
What's funny is the world has no clue what that means.
Okay.
So
And only 3% of people are in crypto, right? Maybe a little more now.
I think it's 2. Yeah, or even if it's 3, 1 more percent push is going to push crypto, which I believe is going to happen pretty soon, actually.
As the dollar is dying.
That's right.
So if you're in these assets, there's a really good chance.
That you're going to crush it. Absolutely. Well, with that said, it's getting a little warm out here. I think we might want to leave because the Ninja is. I did a couple spin kicks actually. I took out like a whole spun of turtles. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was
and
impressive.
and 2 manatees. So I better. Actually, I look like a manatee at this point.
Awesome.
With that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Financial Fitness and the Economic Ninja is out.
Later.
All right. That'll be good.